Welcome back to Mommy and Me Treats.
Hello.
Today we are going to make a yummy and easy cornbread. This cornbread recipe can go with anything, like
sure can.
soup, or fried chicken, or roast chicken, or beef, a lot of things.
And who doesn't love a good cornbread?
It's really good. Alright, so the first step is what you're going to do is you're going to grease your pan. So you can use spray like this, but what we like to do is we like to reuse the butter wrappers, and it's just enough butter to really grease it properly, and we don't waste the butter on the wrappers.
That's right.
All right.
Although, if you're not careful, they can pile up in the refrigerator, and you may not want a whole stack, but we fold ours in half and put them back in the butter drawer so they're ready when we want them.
Yes.
Right?
And they're very useful sometimes.
They are.
And you also want to make sure when you're greasing your pan that you get all of the little creases, like right over here. So like the little edges that go around, because you don't want that part to stick.
No.
All right, so we've got our greased pan. So the next step is to measure out your dry ingredients. We pre-measured 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 2/3 a cup of sugar, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. That is all that's in here.
And Joanne,
And we whisk that together.
if you don't want sugar, you could go without it, but we do believe it tastes better with a little bit of sugar.
But not too much.
Yeah, 1/3 goes a long way for this pan, right?
2/3.
Oh, 2/3. You could cut it in half, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was thinking you could do that. All right.
So we whisk that to make a well in your dry ingredients so that you can add the wet. So the next step was to make a well just like that, and you just want to make sure it's not flat.
And Joanne, why do you make that well?
So that you can put the wet ingredients in, and so that they don't like splish and splash, and it's crazy.
That's exactly right, but it also helps to mix all the ingredients together and not have to overbeat. So there we go.
So the next step is you want to take a whisk, and you want to crack your egg, and you want to put it in your bowl, and you're gonna like very carefully whisk it in the little well you made. Just like, or whip it a little, so you get the yolk
Broken
and
and blend it a little bit
and blend
better.
it a little bit.
And then
So
you
now
can-
you're just gonna whisk the egg in. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of buttermilk in
And-
that well.
And if you don't have buttermilk at home, that's okay. You can take a cup of milk and add a little bit of vinegar, like just a 1/4 teaspoon, or even lemon juice will work, and let it sit up for a few minutes, and it starts to turn into buttermilk. You can even see it happen. What is going on, the reason we prefer buttermilk in the cornbread, and also to make it, if you need to, the old-fashioned way, if you can't get it from the store, is the acidity. What the acidity is going to do, this is a little bit of sciencey stuff, the acidity is going to cut down, it's going to weaken the gluten, and what happens then is it doesn't, have you ever had a cake or something in a pan that looked great, but as it cooked it shrank and it got smaller? The weakened gluten will not shrink like that, so it makes for a wonderful cornbread.
And now we will add 1/3 of a cup of butter, of melted butter, or oil.
You could use a vegetable oil if you didn't
Or
want to use
canola.
butter, yes. Or just mixed. You don't want to overmix.
Yeah, you don't want to overmix. So this is about what it will look like when it's fully mixed, and you do not want to overmix it. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pour your batter into the pan, and you're going to bake your cornbread at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. And you're going to insert a toothpick or a knife when you get to like the 20-minute point, just to check to see if it's ready. And if it comes out clean, then you know it's ready. And if it does not, if it has a little batter on it, you know it needs to be cooked a little longer. So this took 20 minutes to bake, and it looks perfect. We're gonna try it.
Okay, that's good.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could always eat it with butter, but this is moist enough for me that I don't need to if I have Super. Really pretty much anything to eat
Okay.
to go with it. Okay. Over and out.
Bye.
Bye.